JD says, regarding Wells Fargo, can you just ignore the years of cultural issues involving creating accounts and lying? And before I answer, I was a target of one of their fraudulent things. When they did the auto insurance, they were improperly billing people for auto insurance they didn't need. I was one of those.
So you felt that pain.
I would kind of push back a little bit and say that, can you forgive Bank of America and Citigroup for all the years of irresponsible lending before the financial crisis?
Yeah.
Could you forgive General Motors for its bankruptcy before the financial crisis?
Can my wife forgive me for just constantly leaving the toilet seat up?
There you go. So
I mean, at some point,
I'd say it's not a matter of condoning what they did. It's a matter of saying, did they learn and move on from it?
Yeah.
And for the first couple of years after the fake account scandal, my answer would have been no. They should have hired an outside CEO right from the start. But what did they do? They promoted somebody who had been there from the beginning. They should have immediately changed the culture, immediately cleaned house. But it took them years to do that. And I don't blame the Federal Reserve for not lifting the penalty that was put on them. Everyone thought that was only going to last for a few months, and I wasn't so sure. And it's 3 years later, here we are. So I don't blame them for their mistakes, but as long as they're learning from them and moving on, which it looks like they're finally doing.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I think when you look at something as squishy as culture, I mean, culture is fixable. And I think that's ultimately where I come down on this is, I mean, I was as disgusted as anyone. I wasn't surprised, honestly. But it's not good to see. But by the same token, it's fixable. Now, I was really disappointed when they hired their new CEO and they hired internally. And that to me was a sign that they had not learned anything. And I think we were pretty hard on them on some of our shows for that as well. I mean, that was kind of a red flag, honestly. That was a sign that they haven't learned anything at all. I think though that with Scharf, like you said, that was a smart move. And I think that's a sign that maybe they finally get it. And so to me, yeah, I'm with you. I mean, it is a case by case basis. And I think it certainly depends on the business. I can forgive. I think I wouldn't say ignore. I can forgive as long as I see the signs that lessons have been learned and things are being fixed. And I think in this case, we're starting to see signs that things are being fixed. So yeah, I think that if like when they hired that CEO, it was the CFO. I think they promoted up to the CEO or whatever. I can't remember his name, Smoke or something like that. But whatever.
Was it John Stumpf?
Stumpf was the CEO who resigned.
That's right.
Right, and then it was the whoever. But anyway, that to
we
me
didn't even bother to learn his name.
Well, that was the sign that I just absolutely couldn't ignore it.
Right.
I would have never, ever even considered recommending Wells Fargo as any kind of an investment because that to me was a surefire sign that they hadn't learned anything at all.
Right.
But now, I mean, we're seeing signs maybe they have. And so, yeah, I think maybe you don't forget it, but you can forgive it.
Yeah, and I'd agree with that. That's kind of my whole feeling on that.